So if you're joining because, well, you're curious about the Canon EOS R and to know what my thoughts are, well, what I think if it's worth in 2021 or not, hi, welcome. My name is Rob. I make videos about photography, filmmaking, travel, and whatever else I want to make. So if you're interested in following along, please make sure to like, subscribe, and all that kind of stuff. Before we kind of get started with it though, I do want to say a couple of things. Number one, thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you guys just watching and just kind of seeing this channel continually grow. It's just really cool. We just hit 250 subs, which it's not a lot by YouTube means, but it's a lot to me, the fact that people are interested. So thank you. With that being said, different angle today. I'm actually shooting a bit of a I'm shooting a bunch of stuff here and my office is a mess. So I figured I would just switch things up a little bit and see how it goes. So in the past, I've actually made videos like this one about, well, the Canon 6D Mark II. This is one of my favorite cameras ever that I no longer use because it's just outdated. But with that being said, we're gonna kind of talk about the same type of stuff with the Canon EOS R and deciding whether it is a camera that you should potentially invest in, a camera that is good to have in 2021, or if it's a camera that's just no longer really a good camera to use. So with that being said, let's talk about it. So the Canon EOS R was released in 2018. Now this is almost a 3-year-old camera and a lot has happened since. We've seen the developments of the R5, the R6, the RP from the Canon world, as well as the A7S III, the A7 III that came out around the same time, the A7R4. I mean, there's incredible cameras that have been released since. So where does this stand? Does it still hold up here in 2021? Short answer, yes. Long answer, stick around. So when this camera was released, and it was released in 2018, considering that most cameras by that point already had 4K, we were expecting the camera to have 4K. We were not expecting it to have such a massive crop. Now, this camera has a 1.8 crop when it shoots in 4K, which is absolutely insane. If you're someone like me that likes to shoot really wide angle, you're looking at shooting at 16 millimeters like we are right now. Well, we would be shooting at this right now. This is what you would get when shooting at 16 millimeters. Is it usable? A little bit, depending on what you're doing. But I've noticed and I found myself that a lot of the work that I was doing for paid clients and stuff like that, that I was wanting to shoot in 4K, I would have never actually shot at 16 millimeters. So a lot of the times I was just converting to the 1.8 crop and just adjusting. Is it a big deal? I don't think so. I think you can adapt to it, you can get used to it, but the 4K quality is absolutely incredible, even straight out of camera. And if you want to get 10-bit 422 color, you can do it external to an external monitor such as the Ninja 5. So you can get really cool stuff and really good quality video out of this camera. Now, do I think that it's perfect? Absolutely not. In addition to having that problem, it also has a recording time limit of 30 minutes, which most Canon, if not all, Canon cameras do. And really, it wasn't until Sony recently started to just get rid of that limit. It also doesn't shoot at 120 frames per second at 1080 or 4K for that matter. It shoots it at 720 and there's no audio, there's no autofocus. So it is somewhat useful. I made a video about the 720 on this camera that I will link up here. It's cool for like personal projects. I don't think that for commercial or more client-based projects, you should use that 120 frames per second at 720. It's just not good enough. It's fine for personal projects, like I said, but I just wouldn't use it for client work. Now, photography. This was my photography camera for years until I got the R5. But this camera itself, it's amazing for photography. I shot some of my favorite photos with it. I traveled the world with it. I absolutely love this camera for photography. It has 30 megapixels. The only problem is that if you are a wildlife or a sports photographer, this may not be the camera for you. It does only 5.5 frames per second. So when you're trying to catch that quick action, it's just not the best. Is it possible to catch some of it? Yes and no. But yes, depending on what you're doing, but also no. So if you're like trying to get photos of your kids' sporting events and stuff like that, it just might not be the best, to be honest with you. However, the quality of the photos is absolutely fantastic. They're super easy to work with. The editing process is super cool. Now, I've been shooting on the R5 for 6 months now, and I love it. I love the R5, but the files are massive, so it's extra storage. It's extra work. It's just a lot more to deal with. Now, I think that the files are beautiful, and I will not be going back to this from the R5, but it is a little bit too much. So one of the most important things about cameras and all that kind of stuff, and most of you probably will agree, is the price. Now, what's the best you can get with the money that you have? So it really depends on what you care about, right? If you care about specs, maybe a Sony a7 III would be a better option. Maybe if you care about what you're used to and you're already in the Canon ecosystem, maybe the EOS R is what you want. Do I think it's worth the current price? Absolutely. I think it's $17.99 right now, which honestly, it's not a bad price for a full frame camera that gives you really nice quality 4K. But I think that if you are able to wait a little bit longer, save up a little bit extra money, you're much better off with getting the R6, or even save a little more and get the R5. Reason being that they're just newer processors. They can shoot up to 20 frames per second photos, which if you're a wedding or an event photographer or a sports photographer, those things really can make a difference. A lot of those important moments just take microseconds. So having the ability to just burst through a few seconds in a row to try to catch that perfect moment is super important. But with that being said, if you're just kind of on the budget, you're more of a hobbyist and you're just trying to get a little bit higher quality stuff, this camera is absolutely fantastic. I still use it on a daily basis. This is my current backup camera. Like I said in a prior video, I pretty much retired the 6D Mark II. I absolutely love that camera, but it's just too big, it's too bulky, and it just doesn't record 4K. And a lot of the stuff that I'm doing nowadays does require 4K when it comes to video. And when it comes to photo, I just like having the little bit extra information, more megapixels, all that fun stuff. But let me know down below if you agree with me. Let me know what else you would buy. I mean, I think the a7 III is fantastic. I think the Nikon Z6 is fantastic. I think that the Canon EOS R is fantastic. And that's it. That's gonna be the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new around here, and I will see you guys soon. Hopefully. I'll see you guys this week. Bye. So I'm not really sure if this is a good angle that I might stay with. I kind of like it though. Just switch it up a little bit, not look so stale, and just kind of keep the same angle every time. I think it's good to change it up from time to time. So also, like I said before, I've been shooting. My office is a mess right now. I need to clean this. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys soon. Bye.